shirt. Brother got me nervous, man. Nah, yeah, all right. So, yeah, one, I want to thank y'all for allowing me to be here today. Great honor. Served on the board with John Hopkins, came in, tried to hate me, dog. Ain't that guy. You know what I'm saying? I had to check it real quick. I'm not the guy, dog. I don't know what they told you about me, but I'm not him. But anyway, we became really good friends. I mean, John was really, really prepared. Every time we had a meeting, I learned a lot from him, and we became real good friends on the board because I'm gonna ask you what I want, and I'm gonna get what I need. So, as part of it, I learned a lot from his educational piece, and then of course the business part of it. My goal here is to teach people, our people, and really community-wide, how to build generational wealth. I've been blessed to be in a position where I came from nothing like everybody or most people, right? I didn't have a whole bunch of stuff, and I wish I could show you the house. I did this myself. I have a team that normally puts some stuff together that makes it nice and pretty, but her uncle died, so she wasn't able to, put it together. So I did this. But we're going to talk about a number of things. But I grew up in a place in Tyler, Texas. My dad was in the military, so he started here in Killeen, Texas, in Fort Hood back in the day. So we traveled a lot and did a lot of things. Sometimes you don't know you don't have until you get around people that have, right? So you just going along thinking you're all right until you can't buy a polo shirt, So I'm in a high school with predominantly white folks, and they got Porsches and polo shirts. And I asked my mom for one, and we at the dollar store. I said, "They ain't no polo, mom. We got a little horse." So I said, "Boy, you gonna wear this?" And in my mind, I'm thinking, when I get grown, I'm buying all the polos that they have, every color they have, every design they have. And so that was my thought and my story. But I knew the only way that I could get there is go to school, learn something, and get out and work really, really hard. And that's what I did. So I built something my parents would be proud of. I was talking to my mama last week about it, and it's amazing. She said the stuff that you've done in his life. I never wanted to ask my mom and dad for any money when I left my house. When I went to college, I told them I don't want anything from y'all. I gave them everything you can give them, make it on my own, and I did. So I'm gonna talk to you guys about how to build legacy for generational wealth. You'll hear this a lot if you go on YouTube and things like that. This is really happening a lot. And it's happening a lot more in a lot of communities, Asians, Indian, and we have pockets of it happening in our own communities. Guys, this is very important to you and to your family and to the legacy. And I'm gonna talk about some of the important things that you're gonna need to know to help build this generational wealth. So you may say, well, I don't have a lot of money yet. We'll talk about that because it's not all about money, it's about the education piece first. So what is generational wealth? Generational wealth is the ability to hand off your wealth and access to your family tax-free so that they can continue to live a good quality of life, or so your assets can continue to live. So what happens is when you get money, what do most people do when they get money? They spend it. They buy cars, they buy clothes, they buy houses, and you need a house to live in, but you don't have to buy the biggest house right now. Find a way to build equity in that, right? So they go out and they take this money that they make, so they make $100,000 a year and they spend $110,000. And then they try to figure out, I'm making this good money, but I don't have good money. Well, where's the money going? Well, you got a big house, and I have a $70,000 home. You have a $500,000 home. And really, you should have what I have, as you're building, because we know wealth is built through real estate. So that's one of the first places that you can build wealth. So, and I'm gonna get deep into that later on. Generational wealth includes assets like investments, real estate, cars, and of course cash that you can pass down to your family. One of the things that when a person passes away, the biggest thing that you have is a big fight. Everybody come, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm sorry for your loss, and then all of a sudden you got your homeboy coming. Then you got your aunt coming that been fighting with your daddy the whole time. That happened to me. You got that coming. Then you got your brother coming. My daddy said you ain't talked to him in 10 years. Then you got all these people coming, right? Saying what your parents said, right? Your parents said, he said I can have a car. He said I can have a house. He said I can have this. Well, there's a way to fix that. I'm not saying my dad was perfect when I say that my dad did a good job of putting things in place. My dad was a military guy. He saved money. He was 100% disabled through the military, but he saved money as he went. And he put stuff in place for every kid he had on that board and for his grandkids. And that money was a transitional piece, so when he passed away, everybody had their name on a particular account. I was the executive of the account. So they would call me, everybody, oh, wait a minute, what did he get from me? Well, wait a minute. He ain't even in the ground yet. Let's talk about that. Let's see if you're gonna come to the agreement. I may change some of this. You couldn't change it, but the thing is, my point is that they don't worry about the person anymore. They worry about more what do I get? You know, and that's what I want to talk about here in a little bit. If you could scroll back up, just
Okay.
go back up to the other piece. Yeah, right there. So you talk about the assets like investments, real estate, cars, and cash. Let's go on that a little bit. When you talk about real estate, that's the number one thing that we should get, guys. You should buy a house. I ain't saying you should buy $1 million house, but you should go buy a house. My first house was $75,000. My friends had $200,000 houses. So we was on a budget, very strict budget, my wife and I. You know, we made probably $110,000 combined income when I first started. She was a teacher, new teacher, and I was an adjuster, you know, getting started. So we were making a lot of money. So I took the money that we had and put a little budget together, and I said, okay, here's what we're gonna do. Can't do this now, but we did it then because back then it was totally different ballgame. I said, we're gonna get $25 a week, and that's for you to go to work. So if you wanna eat out, you may make it to Wednesday, but we're gonna take our lunches and we're gonna save the rest of the money. So I was saving the rest of the money, and on the weekend we would go eat a nice dinner. We would always go on Sunday and go eat a nice dinner, and that was our deal. We did that for 2 years, and then we got a raise. Then we went to $50. But in that process, we were investing money, we were saving money, and money was growing. Now, were we frustrated? Yes, we were. Because our friends were buying brand new cars, they was going places we could go, they was going on cruises, we couldn't go. We sitting in the house like, what's wrong with us? I said, there's nothing wrong with us. So I'm reading these books, and I said, one day we're gonna be millionaires. I said, well, they doing their thing. I said, we're gonna be able to do everything. And they're not gonna be able to do anything, you know? So we're gonna reverse this. I said, if you hang in here with me, and you ain't got to. I said, but if you do, this is what we're gonna do. So she hung in there, and she began to get the concept, but I was reading books every single month. Before we got on this tip of Black Wall Street, and everybody started believing that Black Wall Street was new, I was reading books about it. It's more than one of them, by the way. There's more than one Black Wall Street. But we all talk about Tulsa, it's more than one. So when we start thinking about really generational wealth and what that means, our kids need to know this. And how to be able to move money and investments and those kind of things. I talked to a guy on the way down here about the investments. He said, man, I was so afraid, man, to put any of my money in investments. They would tell me on the job to do that. Or you need to be doing this. The young man need to be dumping a little money in every month. My daughter does it and my son does it. And why they do it? Because we set them up an account and we force them to do it. If you don't miss it, you won't miss it. But then they can retire early, they can make moves, you can make moves, you can do things that your friends can't do. And then when you go buy a car that you want down the road, a Porsche, and you drive it down the road trying to figure out how you get it done, well, man, I've been investing for 10 years. That's what changes the game. You know, but we want to do it now. And we want to sacrifice the future for now. And I didn't want to do that. So when you talk about investments, this is the number one thing on the chart, guys. We got to get in the game. Now, you're going to win and lose. Some days I lose $20,000 in one day. Think I'm happy about that? No, I ain't happy. I ain't happy at all. Dude, who wants to lose money? But the day when I make 60 or 100,000, I'm feeling pretty good. Who wants to win? So it's all in the way you play the game. You know, you got to play the game to win. And winning is a long-term process. Now, I tell guys this, like, even sign up for some of our major events in the organization. You may sign up for conclave, people complaining about the $500 or $600. Or we sign up for whatever it is we got to sign up for that we have a problem with. And I just looked at guys and I laughed at them. Know why I laughed, John? Because after that complaining session, we all joined up at the bar. I'm watching these drinks. I'm watching how much money you spend at the bar. They said, hey, you ain't really doing all that. I said, look, you just spent $600 and you complaining about the frat charging you $600 for a great event? I said, change your concept, change your mindset. Get around the people that's gonna win. I'm gonna tell you something, this happened last night. I was on the phone with, I call it, got it in front of y'all, I call it honorable stuff, get that on camera. But, my boy, honorable stuff. So I was talking to him, and I was talking to one of my friends, this is important in relationships. Because with the BBB team, our thing is generational wealth, health, and relationships. So one of my friends, she said, hey, I be seeing you pointing to so many people, but who's pointing to you? So she said, you know, the billionaire, Robert, she said, I'm gonna get you connected with him. I date his friend. She said, I'm with him all the time. He would love to be your mentor. I said, let's make that happen next week. Because you need that person in your life that's gonna elevate you. How do I get to the next level? Do I want money from him? No. I want information from him. If I can get information, then I can learn how to give that information to other people, and our overall community is gonna be great. Investments is the key to your future, and I'm telling you. You learn how to invest, and if you don't know how, we can start a class or you go online and pay for a class and take fundamental steps in learning how to invest. My first investment was $1,000 because I didn't have no money, remember I wasn't making no money. So I told my wife, I said, I've been reading about the stock stuff. And I said, the Motley Fool. I said, I'm gonna invest $1,000 if you're okay with it. She said, yeah. I said, if I make money, I'm gonna learn. If I don't, I'm just gonna get out altogether. I made $800 on my $1,000 investment. I said, it's time to learn. Because now I'm gonna put more in it, and it's gonna move, because guess what? I'm learning the game. And then all of a sudden you start making that money, you're like, okay, now I can afford to take money out of this and buy a car. So when we talk about the tax piece of that on the front part, that's very important. Because when you do make money, guess what you gotta deal with? On a different level. So when you're working and they take money out of your, when you're working and you take money out of your check, when you on the job, you complain about your taxes, right? They take it, I made $10,000, they took $4,000 out, right? $3,000 out, right? I mean, just tell, right? We found it, right? We complain about that. But think about when you have to pay $200,000. That's getting real. You see what I'm saying? So now you gotta understand these games in a generational wealth platform, because now you're in a 37% tax bracket, and if you have an investment, is that investment being taxed 20%? So if you make 100 grand, or you got to pay 20,000 of that 100 grand, is that fair? Come on, y'all. No. Do you want to do it? No. But think about it, you made 80. So you got to pay. I'll pay 20 if I make 100, because I made 80. You see what I'm saying? The game is real. You just gotta play the game. But 20 beats 37%. And 37, if you're making the top dollar, you're making the top number that they have, and those taxes are not going down. But see, you sheltered in some of these things. Capital gains taxes max 20, 15% normally is what it is. So you put your investment in a capital gains type shelter, where now you're only gonna pay 15%, where you pay 37% if you didn't have invested at all. That's how the game's played. So then your money comes to you, where you're only gonna give them 15,000 of that 100 versus giving them 20. You see what I'm saying? So now you keep 85,000 versus the other portion. So it just changes the game, you know. So investments, real estate, those are the big ticket items. People say, well, how did you make money? I made investments, real estate, cars. I'm buying now. I bought when I was young. So I bought a lot of cars, man. I was making money, I bought new cars. Every time I turned around, I bought a new car. I wanted to be in style with everybody else. But I bought about 5, 6, 7 cars. I mean, back to back to back. I said, man, what are you doing this for? But I was making money on some investments. So every time I did it, I thought I should need to show my friends that I was killing the game. All I was doing was sinking my investment strategy while I was impressing them for a moment. Because they saw the new car for a minute. They're like, okay, cool, got a car. So, in cash. People say, oh, you don't need cash, you don't need cash. Did we need cash in the pandemic? Yeah, you need cash, you can't get your bank. I keep cash, son. I keep all this stuff. You know, cash, credit cards, you know, my investments. I watch my investments every day. You know, I got hit up by, someone did some fraud activity on one of my bank accounts. 7,000 one day, 7,000 the next day. He was stupid because he could have stopped it. I probably wouldn't have noticed it, but 7,030, the bank called me and said, hey, are you taking this much money out? No. So I watch this stuff every day. All of my accounts. Every day. Every day. Because I want to see whether they're going up, down, or out. I want to see something's happening on a daily basis. The biggest thing you want to pass this on. I have 2 kids. And I can't get into all the structures on the estate plan part and all that. But we can talk general, and I want y'all to be able to ask questions, so we can get information down the road. So is this helpful so far?
Oh yeah.
So now let's talk about building legacy starts with the mindset. See, one of the things that I believe in our community, our mindsets are based on our friends' mindsets. That's the way it is. If I see John buying something, I'm gonna buy a bigger house. If I see John buying a car, I'm gonna buy a Porsche. If I see Darryl buying some golf clubs, I'm gonna buy pins. We're gonna do better, and we're gonna post it. And if I take a trip to Cozumel, Joe's gonna take one to Jamaica. That's just what we do. Because we wanna highlight, I'm killing the game. I got this degree, I'm working, I'm winning. We gotta put this package together, guys, where we have an end goal. See, my mindset is all about money. Daryl's on my team. He's on my 501c3 team, and he'll tell you, we go hard. We go hard. Y'all gonna hear some stuff that's gonna be uncharacteristic of what we normally do. Because we got pushed back there. But I said, I'm not here to do the same thing. I'm here to change the game. If we're not changing the game, I need to step down. And I said that. We're not changing the game, I don't need to be here. You don't need me. You need to put somebody here that's willing to follow that blueprint that y'all already got. Y'all hired me to change this thing. And change is always hard on the front end, but on the back end, people say how great it was. When Martin Luther King was changing things, people probably didn't like him either. But afterwards, they loved him because of what he did for our community. So we got to start thinking big. So when you start changing in your environment, guess what? That homeboy you hang with, Tori, he may start hanging with you because you're like, man, you changed it, dog, man. We grew up here, man. You're not from little kid. But yeah, but I'm changing. When I go home, if my homeboys are hanging out and I feel it's uncomfortable, hey, dog, I got to go, man. I'm feeling tired right now. I'm not going to be caught in that because I know I have a bigger dream to lead something that's major. Building legacy that starts with mindset, you must think a decade into the future and decide what you want the legacy to be. It's your legacy. Legacies live forever. They never die. People die. Legacies live forever. So if you don't have one, then develop one. But your legacy will never die. My son gave me a book from Christmas. He said, Dad, write your story. I want to tell my kids. He's saying, write your legacy. I want my kids to know. So we have to start now. What does that legacy look like, right? You must sit down and write your plan. And it has to be so clear that you can spit it off if you came in this room and stood for 5 minutes. You can tell people what it is. If you can't tell me what your vision is and what your plan is, I'll shake your hand and dap you up and smile with you. And I got to bounce, baby. Because you don't know what you want to do. I know what I want to do. You must be so specific, although you may not believe it is possible to achieve your goals now. I know what my goals are. I'm not standing up here lying to you. I know what they are. And they hit every single day, every single month. In my business, I said, I want to grow by this much. I grew more income during the pandemic than I had in all the history of my business. And that's on a trajectory like this. Because you know what I do? Every year I write down, but most people want to grow 2 to 3%. I want to grow 15 to 20. Now I push my people, some of them quit. Joe knows this. Joe knows me. I push them hard, right, Joe? Give results, right? I believe in winning. And I'm going to tell you when you start working for me, I say, hey, here's one thing I'm going to tell you. I'm going to pay you well. But I said, I'm going to expect great results. I said, if you're not making more money in a year from starting here to here. And if your family's not doing better, you don't need to work for me. Your vision's not big enough. I hear a lot of people say, I'm not going to start my own thing. Brothers call me all the time. I'm going to start my own thing about how I need your help. That's okay. You got your business name already? No. You got the business account set up? No. I said, tell you what, stop rushing. Get yourself ready. Get some clients before you leave. Because you get out here, no clients. The game is real out here. It ain't all smiles and taking pictures, baby. You know what I'm saying? Stuff happens real life. Don't get no loan from the bank. I had AM credit score when I started, went to the bank that I was banking with. I said, hey, I'm starting a business, I'd like to get a line of credit. Banker looked at me, he said, you starting a business? He said, can't give you that. I said, well, sure, I've been banking here. He said, well, can't give it to you. I said, what can you do? He said, well, we could give you, what the guy give me, 15,000, 20,000, something like that. I think it's 15,000. We can give you $15,000 with a 20% interest rate. I said, so that right there sounds bad, doesn't it? I took it. You know why I took it? Because money's money. Because once I started using the money, I ain't gonna pay the 20% every time I couldn't pay my people. So that 20%. So what I did after a year, I had now a year of business under me. I went back to them and said, well, we did nothing. So I went to another bank. And they gave me $100. And I said, you can take your little 15 them back. Here's the bank gave me this. Let me get all my money. Let me get all my money that y'all don't want to help me with out y'all bank. You see what I'm saying? You become the powerhouse, not them. I know my bank is by name. Some of the stuff that's happened in this organization, it happened overnight because the bank, they didn't have to see Earl, they didn't have to see Jackie, they saw me. I got them on the phone, they said, we can do it. We know this guy. And he had credibility with us. You see what I'm saying? So when you build this, you build in a legacy. My wife walks in the bank, oh, Miss Howard, my daughter walking in the bank, oh, Miss Howard, they know because of me, my legacy. You see what I'm saying? If I go in there and tell them, okay, let's say, this happened, hey, one of the guys trying to get me on, I said, look, man, I said, I'm losing today. Today is not the day to talk to me. I said, because I may take everything out today, but the bank manager said, no, leave me alone. I mean, but you build scale, right? When you start building a legacy and you build your net worth, and guess what? You can say what you want to say. I hear a lot of people online say, oh, they didn't want to treat us right. Yeah, we still got that too. We still got that too. So I ain't saying we don't have that. But when you build something, do it to you. We got a bank that called me the other day. She gonna invest into our 501c3 because Joe started the young man, Sick Bay Club. She said, send me y'all stuff and I'm gonna donate $5,000 to your organization. Now why? We've been doing business every bank she went to. I said, girl, I need some money. She said, I don't know what we can do. She called me back, she said, we can give you $5,000. Is that enough? I said, not really, but we'll take the 5 and get started with the relationship. You know what I'm saying? So that's all she needs. She just needs the paperwork. And you can do it here. Because we have that kind of power. That's the legacy mindset. When you're driving to various places, visualize your future, man. When I'm flying different places, and I'm telling y'all this not to be bragging, because y'all brought me here to tell the story, right? So we went to Spain last year. We took a 14-day trip, went to Spain, and then we went to Portugal. And when we went to Spain and Portugal, I told my wife, I said, I'm not going to fly that long sitting like this. If I can avoid it. So I called the people, and they said, yeah, it's gonna be $7,000 in first class. I said, yeah, we'll do that right now. She said, a person. I said, let me think. let me think about that. I called the next day, I said, book it. Book it, $7,000. My wife said, you really paid $14,000 for us to fly? We got on the plane. They said, got up here. I had my section. She had hers. Had my headphones, she had hers. Wine, soda, hors d'oeuvres. I said, you feeling good right now? Yeah, it's for $14,000. You see the difference? And her mind starts to change. Now she said, are we flying first class again? You know what I'm saying? Because the mind changes. And then when we flew regular first class, Joe, from Philly to Dallas, she said, this ain't nothing. Because she's accustomed now to the seats and the back and then all that, you know. Mindset changed. But you have to elevate that. Because here's the thing. If you invest in yourself, you'll be investing in yourself more. Because you feel a certain way. It's a feeling. Y'all see me when I walk in now, in the front thing. Y'all vote me in now. I'm good. I can't kid you. I be walking in there like I'm cold now, you know? Because I feel a certain way. And when you feel a certain way, you become that person, you know? And that's what it's all about. Build or rebuild your credit. This is important, guys. This credit thing, I watch it every day too. Because I don't ever want it to go low. Because if anything, I can get money if I don't have money. If my credit's good, I can walk in and get anything I want. The credit has a lot to do with building a legacy and leaving generational wealth. Second point, with good credit, you can get into places poor credit cannot take you. I'm just telling you. No money, good credit, you can get 20,000 today. 100 or 200. I went to Frost Bank, so I got a lot of banks. So I went to Frost Bank, and I said, hey, what are y'all gonna do for me? So they put me a couple of suites, took me to see Coco golf play. They paid for that in the suite. Then I needed some money for these houses. I said, I need some money. He said, how much do you need? I said, I don't really know a lot. I think about 200,000. He said, we approved you for $500,000. You want to get it today, tomorrow, Friday? I said, I don't want that much, to be honest. But it took a week. You see what I'm saying? It took 1 week for them to approve $500,000. Well, I said, they don't even play it. They don't even really ask you for that no more, do they? I said, that relationship don't got strong. So they don't ask me, Yuri. I walk in there, even the tellers know me. And I'm just putting a little money in. But they know, oh, Mr. Harden, don't worry, we move pretty fast, you know? Because guess what? They look at accounts. They look at relationships. They look at all of that. So I get invited to all the stuff, and that's why I try to open it up. I put something out on the page for the frat. What we're going out today, we're meeting with the mayor of City Hill back home and the new, his new assistant. Well, that's for us to have a relationship and contacts as men of Sigma in the process. He called me, oh man, I can get you. I said, look, I ain't interviewing with nobody for this position. I said, I want to be on the board. And if you can't make that happen, your election comes up pretty quick. He said, don't be that. Don't worry about it. He said, I got you. He made the call. I can show you the email. I'm not interviewing no more for no positions. I've already done all that. You know what I can do. So, I know that's all from the credit thing, but I'm trying to stay. Be honest with yourself about your credit and get the help you need to improve that situation. You know what you need to do, right? You don't have to tell me what your credit looks like. Get the help you need so you can get your stuff straight. Okay, the next thing is create a financial plan by meeting with an advisor or someone in the field that is licensed and experienced in this space. So what you do is you interview several advisors and find those you feel comfortable with to help you develop your plan. So what I just did with some of my money, I'm switching it to the person that manages my wife's money. I was going to go with a different person, but my wife feels comfortable with this person. So I'm actually going to shift some of my money to this person. So if something happens to me, my wife knows this person feels comfortable, and then I know that she's not going to be taken advantage of in the process. The biggest thing that happens when you have money in these processes, if they see $2 million, you better believe they might be helping you, and they might be sorry, and they may be sending their condolences, but they developing a plan to get the $2 million. I'm telling you, I'm in the business, I know. So you want to make sure that your family, your kids, and you and your wife sit down and talk about this. I got some stuff, because if you don't, it's going to be some things that get missed, and that stuff is going to get in probate, and you're probably going to lose all your money, or most of your money. Understand? Do research online yourself and start familiarizing yourself with the terminology. See, when they know you don't know the terminology, Joe, you've been in the game, they're going to kill you, dog. Because they're going to make it sound good. You can say, oh yeah, that sounds really good. That sounds really good. Oh yeah. They're going to give you the highest rate of return that they can give you. So what do you think the highest rate of return is right now on an investment right now, on average? Somebody just throw a number out. I ain't saying it's wrong, I'm just gonna tell you what the number is. Just throw a number.
18%.
18% about right. 15 to 18%. So if they say you're on a 36% rate of return, they are there. But those 36% rate of return is also going to do 40% losses too. They're not gonna tell you that though. So you'll jump in the money, put your money in a 40% rate of return type deal. You'll lose 50, and you're gonna say, well, you told me. Well, I showed you wrong. But you wanted this grow because it looked real good. The average rate of return is between 15 and 18%. So when you're talking to somebody, just know that. If they say that you still bigger than that, it's probably not the product that you want to take at the time. Invest money in your 401k or qualified plans on the job to assist you in the process. Tori, you need to do this. If you're not already doing it, you want to maximize this. You're a young man, and anybody else for that matter. The only thing that it helps with the taxes, but I personally you can't get the money until you're 59 and a half without paying, some fees. 10% early penalties and stuff like that. But, and I'm looking at, okay, how many people died before 59 and a half? A lot of people died before 59 and a half. So once you max out and any matching contributions that they give you, then start putting it in other places, do Roth IRAs, do traditional IRAs, max those out. Right now, I think it's $7,000 you can do it. If it was 50, you can do 500 or 1,000 to that. So it puts you in another category. And then in individual investments. So those investments help with the reduction of your taxes and those type of things. So that's what the qualified plans are good for. And you have a retirement. But then the other stuff starts to help you with the day-to-day type operations, so you can move around on a daily basis. Open IRA, I mentioned that there. Open a CD. I put this down at the bottom because open a CD or savings account at the bank. It's not some money if you absolutely need to get to it. So you can get to that CD election right now. You're paying about 4.55%, like in about 7 months, something like that. Most of the time when the CD renews, it's going to renew at a lower rate. Just know that because they think you're not going to move. Always look, you got a 10 or 15 day window to get that money back out once it hits that time frame. Now, they have a really good product at the bank now called a premium deposit account. Chase has this. It's 4.5% and it really be hunting for real. At the end of the month, it be hunting for real. It's going to give you some money. I can't wait till the first month. It be hunting for real. So that's if you want some safe money, you put it there. Now, every dollar that you make at the end of the year, you got to pay gains on it, right? So if you make $50,000, just know you got to pay. They're going to include it in your taxes. At the end of the year, you're going to have to pay tax on $50,000. So if you make 100, you make 150 because you made gains on that money. And that's okay. I still take the gains, right? But you try to find those other places like we talked about before. Yeah.
So you have a lot of young kids that ask that question, 59 and a half, but they're younger. But the younger generation is making a lot of money. What advice do you give them? And they say, well, I don't want to put my money in a Roth IRA traditional because I got to wait until I'm 59 and a half. I'll say, well, match it with your 401k.
Yeah, that's a great question. The advice I give is that we put it in an non-qualified account. Put money in an individual account, they're not getting tax advantages, but they're still growing in investment strategies, so they're not reducing their taxable income. That's okay. Everybody's out there. You put it in a permanent life insurance too. You got full access to the money at that time. So you do all these things like that, mainly that individual, not an IRA or nothing like that, just an individual account, and you max fund that bad boy. You got to be good with your risk tolerance, so we have to do something like that. And I believe in permanent life insurance as a big major part of that process. And I'm going to get to that in a little bit on how the wealth is built on these strategies, if you're willing to make the sacrifice with it. So that was a great question. I appreciate the question. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. So pay off the house early and debt early. I put pay off the house. That's kind of up to you. I said, if possible, pay off the house early to allow you to invest money into the investment accounts. You see what I'm trying to do here? Let's take away the liability and let's invest into the assets. See, the house you live in is a liability, right? It's really a liability, so people have the biggest liability and then don't have money to invest in assets. I have 3 rental properties. I have a house. My house is it ain't major. It ain't little, but it ain't major. Now, it ain't no $1 million house on purpose because I believe in investing my money into real stuff. So I could go by, lake and, invite y'all out. And I'll be happy for 1 day or 2 days, and then after that, I gotta pay the number. I ain't trying to do that, you know what I'm saying? I better come be happy right today, to the back, and smoke a cigar, and then go home, you know what I'm saying? But, this pay off the house thing is it's kind of on you based on your deal, because you don't get the taxable benefits once you pay it off, because that goes away. But it also gives you some freedom and flexibility, or when the interest rates get better, just refinance. Refinance it to a lower percentage, make a lower payment, so you're in a good place with that. But you do want to pay off your credit cards and any consumer debt that you have that's costing 18 to 21%. You do want to pay that off, so I got that down there as well. So this next item is review your beneficiaries on all of your accounts. If you don't hear nothing else I say today, please go and look at all of your accounts and make sure that your beneficiaries on every account is how you want it. Here's why. I looked at some of mine, and they weren't on there. I looked at some of mine, and they had my wife and my son on there. So guess what happened when I died? They split the money. It goes to him and her, and that's not intended purpose, guys. So go look at that, because if you don't have your beneficiaries correct on here, you know what happens to your money? It goes into probate. But if its beneficiaries are listed properly, it bypasses the probate. So what does that mean? Y'all know what that means?
Probate?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta fight for you. Whoever is trying to get that money, they gotta go fight to get that money, because you didn't have any beneficiaries on it. So now that money just be sitting out there.
Yes,
Possibly lost.
that's right. Possibly lost.
Then you lose it.
Just lose it. So you go change your beneficiary one, you go to all your banks and take all your accounts. I got it on some, but you take it all and changing it, and you put transfer on that, TOD, that it automatically goes to your wife. Everything we're doing now is transferring, so it ain't no problems. She can go in and get the money. I saw this with my own eyes. Guy left his son $1 million. It wasn't structured right. Guy goes in the bank, get the $1 million. They said, what's wrong with him? Can't get the money. I said, why? His dad left it. It wasn't structured right. So that makes you want to go do something, right? He had to fight to get his own daddy's money. It wasn't structured right. So my daddy passed away. He had me as an executive, but he had some policies for me, my sisters, everybody's name. No one had a problem getting their money because it was structured properly. You see what I'm saying? But we don't take time for that. Yeah, if I say, let's go meet at the bar, dog, I got drinks for everybody will show up. If I say, let's come, let's look at your accounts, make sure it's set up right. Yeah, I'm working on that. That's what we say. All of us say that. I'm working on that. I'm working on that. I'm working on that. And working never gets done. So what you do, you go home and you tell your mom and daddy, let's look at your accounts, make sure they're straight. You know what I'm saying? But you do want to do that. So make sure you put a will and a trust in place for all the assets to go to your family and not to probate court. So here's the thing, guys. How much you think a trust costs to set up or will? Couple $100, right?
How detailed you want it to be, but you can go file it right
A
online.
will is easy. Couple $100.
So
A trust,
estate plans to trust?
a trust is about $3,000 to $4,000. It's really good to do it. I mean, we had one when the pandemic hit. We took me there. She said, as long as we had to work, because I was just being kind of lazy, got to get all the documents, got to get everything. She was good. She was patient. She was kind. And she chose us for $5,000. But everything's right. Who goes? But the hardest thing is figuring it out, right? Because you have to answer all the questions. Do you want to get the money if this happens? Do you want the bank to manage this, or do you want someone else? Finding the person as an executive. So my friend, my real good friend, if something happens, he manages that and distributes the money. So like if I pass away now, my kids don't get all this money. They'll get a portion of life insurance, and depending on their age, they'll get increments of the money as we go. So when they hit, they older now, but say my daughter's 25 or 26, when she hit 30, if I'm gone, she'll get a hit. Then when she hits 35, she'll get a hit. Or they have kids, then I got money that'll go to the kids as soon as they're born to the account. I got it set up where it's going different places based on this document here. You see what I'm saying? And it's automatically going there because of the structure. These things are living documents that need to be managed every year. You know what I'm saying? Most times, I got mine in there. I'm looking at the stuff now. It's a lot. That's why I said I gotta manage, bring a team on, because it's just so much work. You got frat, you got, this building, but you need somebody that's looking at that, they can call and say, I need to meet with you, let's go over these documents. Because if you don't, then, and your wife and your husband, spouse, or significant other, they need to be in the room. Because they need to know. They need to know that if something happens, I need to talk to this person. When I'm meeting with clients, I tell the wife, she may be sitting down and just let him down, I said, he gonna be gone, I need to talk to you. What you think? And it's happened before. She said, you told me. My cousin just died at 49, 5 weeks ago. I had a life insurance policy on him, gave it to his wife. Her kids are supposed to polish on the kids, got $500,000 on her. I'm helping her with some investments and watching all the money. I told her this is how we're gonna structure this, and we got a team in place to help her manage this money. Now, $300,000 is not like you're rich, because that's the rest of your life money. But it's enough to get her started where she didn't have that before. You see what I'm saying? So now she will begin to build some wealth because we're helping her structure the stuff where it's done properly. I said, don't go out and buy cars unless you need one. She said, I'm not buying cars and all that kind of stuff. Because now you can build upon what he left her, so.
One more question, brother. The trust, the one you this example is, are you doing that like it's a cost? Because I know you have to update your trust. Maybe you don't have to update every year, but if things change, how does the fees go for that? And how does that play into the transfer of debt? Do you have to put that portion in your
No.
trust?
So the fees are based on the amount of work they do. They'll tell you what upfront engagement letter, how much they're gonna charge you to do that. But the TOD, once you have the TOD, she'll list it, but it's automatically gonna go to that person. It's just gonna be part of the estate plan. Yeah, it's overall estate plan, yeah. Once you sign an engagement letter, it's gonna tell what the scope of work is gonna be in the engagement letter. Yeah. So, but 1,000, 1,500 really is not like a lot for what we're gonna say, at the grant. Yeah. Now, some charge 7, 10, that's too much. But then another thing about the estate plan, which we got a slide for, is that once you do establish this part of it, then now you gotta put stuff in the estate plan, the trust. You gotta get another attorney to now put the stuff into the trust to protect. So if everything's in the trust, and that's tricky too, because you got irrevocable trust, revocable trust, you got all of that. But if it's done right, then one, you can't ever get sued, and if you do get sued, they sue in the trust and it's protected. You see what I'm saying? IRS don't even, they can't really fool with you because it's in the trust. But you can't touch it either. You can get funds from the trust. The trust is its own entity which delivers money and things to you. So you gotta have that team that knows how to properly do that so it flow properly. You know what I'm saying? So that's why the team is important. Buy life insurance for you and your family to allow your assets to pass the bypass program. This is the part we run from, guys. This is the simplest thing that we can do. Buy life insurance on our families. So I insure some brothers that do very, very well. And I insure myself. And I got a lot of life insurance. What we'll say is, what's the average number? Let me just ask y'all of life insurance that we said in the first minutes.
$500,000.
Yeah.
Half a million.
10,000.
I say 100K.
His number's right. People walk into my office, we talk about the life insurance game, and I said, this is what we're gonna look at based on what your need is. They said, well, I just want to do 100,000. So why do you think 100,000 is that magic number?
They don't pay.
Cause most people don't make 100.
Yeah.
So they think they get it. Right, Joe? They don't make 100. So they walk in, they make 60 and they say, I want 100,000, I'm good. If I can just do 100, I'm good. But then you start breaking it down. You got a house, you got cars, your kids in college. Okay. So you only gonna live for a year? You only wanna sacrifice? You only wanna get money for a year? So we push million, half. When I said a million, oh shoot, you don't need that much money. See, they're not thinking legacy. They're not thinking transition. They just thinking selfishly. That's why I give you what you want. I say your policy. I said this ain't really gonna do the job, but I can't direct these people because of my rule, right? I can kind of guide them through the process. But if you tell me you want 100, let's do this. Let's do it. Because again, I go see what you're at the bar. You tell me you want 100. You want to spend 30, and then I just see you spend 300. You could have paid for the policy all year. Now I'm gonna say something. Need to edit this thing on this stuff. Now, if I see some stuff over here that I don't like, I'm come out here and give you permission on that. This happened to my own family. So my cousin, they drunk. They like to drink the expensive stuff. They online posting. I'm like, okay, I know my cousin there. She dies. Family calls. Hey, everybody need to chip in. She ain't got no money to bury it. First I said, okay, James. So I said, you know what? I ain't doing nothing. I sell this stuff. I'm asking. They ain't do it. Whole family got mad at me. I said, I said, y'all wasn't mad when she was popping bottles and walking around with $48 bottles. Now y'all may think I'm wrong. That's cool too. But I said, you gotta teach people. You gotta teach people. Because if you don't teach them, they're gonna keep asking you. Because they know I can come to you. Cousin don't say nothing, that's cool. Other people have come around, it's not some life insurance, guys, it'll be all right. I don't get paid that much money on this stuff, but you got something that you can pass on. I didn't have it. I could have said, you're wrong, that's okay. We've all been wrong on something, I'm just wrong on this one. Buy life insurance for your kids because it provides simplified underwriting. So if you got kids under the age of 18, buy life insurance on them as much as you can get. Here's why. You don't have to go through no real serious underwriting. It starts happening when you get older. And then now you gotta show PSA tests and, all that mess, and you may not get approved. Who comes to me the most when they need life insurance? This is easy. Who? People already got some stuff. They went to the doctor told me, you probably gonna have to, get on this medication. You may be a diabetic. They call them, hey, let me meet with you. I gotta get some life insurance. Well, what's your doctor tell you? I gotta take this metformin. Okay, no, we can't help you now. Right, Joe? Joe, you been in business? No, we can't help you now. You don't need to call me. You need to call one of the other guys that may be able to do this, because we ain't able to do it. I said, I've been asking you for years to do this, bro. Years. And you've been telling me no. And your doctor tell you you're getting ready to be sick, and you gonna call me now? Now you can get life insurance with diabetes, depending on the controllability of it. But people normally call you when they sick. Buy life insurance on yourself because it allows you to generate immediate wealth. How does that work? So if I put $2 million on me and I pass away and I don't have but $300,000 in the bank, my wife is $2 million. That's a good trade-off, right? Pay a little bit, get $2 million, family's in a $2 million asset pool right now. I tell people, this is the biggest place that we can win because it's gonna take you a long time in most cases to build $1 million, to build 2, to build 3, but you can buy it now. Just trade me, give me a little money, and I can build your net worth, and I can build your legacy. But if you don't do that, keep living down. I got this saying, and I'm gonna tell you what I said. I ain't sent it to y'all, because y'all invited me and I'm gonna get some nothing done after this, so don't take it personal. I told somebody, because I talk about money in my house all the time. After we have these little get-togethers, before everybody leaves, y'all know I gotta talk about, where we gonna go and what we're doing. And The last thing I said the last time, I said, if you're over 50 and you ain't got your life together, your car's still raggedy, you ain't saving no money, you ain't investing no money, you ain't talking about it, keep doing what you're doing, bro. I ain't changing you. I'm talking to these young kids in here. My wife said, oh, you're so cruel. You just talking to these people like, these are family members. Crazy. My brother-in-law said, he said, you ain't crazy, cuz. He said, you right. He said, I got to change the way I do my life. You see what I'm saying? I mean, if we don't say that, then who gonna say it?
No one.
Yeah, and then and please don't put GoFundMe on there. You ain't gonna get that for me. So I ain't gonna, but life insurance is tax free.
Question on the life insurance, because you have whole, you have term. So talk a little bit about which one is better in your eyes. And I know every situation is different,
Yeah.
as folks, think term and fit my bill, but as just like it says term, it's gonna term out. So talk a little bit about, the difference in that term and the whole.
Yeah, so it's a good question, John, man. I'm glad this, passionate about this because I really believe. Here's the thing, the best policy to have is the one that you have when you die, whether it's term or whole. My dad had a term, when he died on son, it's a whole stuff. But let's talk about real. So say you take your son, for instance, right? He's a young man, building his wealth, building his family. Term life would be great for him. You know why? It's cheap. He can convert that term to a permanent policy without going through underwriting in the future. So if he bought $1 million worth of term right now, and that term costs him $100 a month, when he made more money and can put more into it, we can start converting that policy over to a whole lot of policies that build equity. Now, I personally believe in whole life at our ages. I have a lot. Some of my money, this investment stuff that I have, it's in whole life insurance. I have policies where I spend $20,000 to $25,000 a year investing in a whole life insurance policy. You know why? I don't pay no taxes on it. I can access it before 59 and a half. That's what I was talking about. So instead of the person, brother, that you was talking about, if they willing to give me $2,000 a month, $25,000 a year, and you put the money in there, they gonna get return on that, and they got access immediately. I can write $10,000 worth of checks per day in that. So they got immediate access. But think about this, John. So say in that account, say if I put 25,000, so I have 25,000 year number one, but the policy value is about $500,000. So if I pass away, my wife gets $500,000 versus the 25,000 that I invested. Because most people put it in the bank anyway. You see what I'm saying? And they get 25,000 when you die. But if you invest this money like that, now you got money that's building equity, and then also you got the death benefit. And it grows pretty decent. I put a lot. We have a frat brother, I'm not gonna call his name, but he's a really aggressive guy. He pays me $150,000 a year for a plan like that. Policy value is $5.8 million. He's like, man, why you didn't tell me about this long ago? I said, because I didn't know you wanted to pay $150,000. But he sees the cash. And if he needs money, want to buy a house, buy a building, he calls me up. Now, for that, I have to request a loan for him. It takes about 4 days to get the loan, but it's his money. He's borrowing his own. So I just say, if you have extra money, and not even extra, create the money, then, take your drink down, invest it in here, then you can come back and you can get the money. Because it pays dividends as well. Dividends are taxable. You see? So all of these things work. It's a game. The system is built for us to win. We just got to learn how to do it. And I've learned most of it. I know how to win. So, did I answer your question? Yeah. So, by time if you, now sometimes if I have $1 million policy on a person, they bought it when they was younger, now they hit the 20-year, close to the 20-year term, they're still healthy. We may do another term if they qualify, and then we'll bring it down to a half. Because as you get older, you don't need as much because you should have paid down some of your debt and all that, so you don't need as much. So they pay for about $500,000 because then they got grandkids and stuff they're gonna need money to. So all of us are playing.
What about the other insurance? I'm trying to think of it now.
How you will?
Yeah. What about all of those? You started to hear more about them. I know they've been out there, but what's your thoughts on all of them?
Yeah, I believe it. I believe we do. You know what I'm saying? The plan is, it depends on the investor, right? If you're an investor that is adverse to investing in the market, or You may not be at this. You may, I want that and this. I want that and this. Because all of it has a place. Annuities have a place. You hear people say, oh, annuities are bad. Well, okay, there's people, most of the time people that say stuff is bad, they don't have it. I'm just telling you. And they don't have money. I can say this, I mean, I can be in a room, people got money, we can talk. I mean, because truthfully, people that say stuff against you, they don't have the stuff that we talking about. I'm just telling you right now. So, I'm talking to my brother right now, bro. Let me tell you, I walked in, and I don't normally do this, but because my cousin died, and my daddy died about a year ago, and losing family members, I walked into the dealership. I told you that. Walked into the dealership, and I just picked out my BMW. I said, I want the latest, the greatest, with all the things on it. And he said, how you gonna pay? I said, I don't know. I may pay cash for it. Young man. And he said, really? You can do that? I said, yeah, I can. And I called my advisors. He said, don't pay cash. She said, finance it under the business and for them to do. The kid was impressed. He said, man, I ain't seen nobody like that can do that. I said, but it's a strategy. I said, at your age, I couldn't. But at my age, now I can, because I got all these different pockets. So I can go to my life insurance policy for $80,000, pay cash for it to be done. And I pay that back. And if I don't pay that back, say if it's a $500,000 policy, they just deduct the $80,000. You see the winner?
Yeah.
The game is simple. If you want to play. But most people don't want to play. They give it that guy in the corner and talk about me and say, see, that's all I want to talk about, money all the time. He don't want to talk about money. He's supposed to be talking about your practice stuff, man. You know, I'm talking about practice shit. All right, no, no. They're going to talk about me, dog.
He's bragging.
He's bragging too, by the way, yeah. So I'll keep this to myself. Anyway. All right, next thing. If this was a slide, it'd be a nice slide. My lady. Yeah, okay. Teach your kids about money. Take it to the bank. Meet the banker, set up the bank. If the banker don't want to meet you, take all your money and go to another bank. I'm just telling you. They don't treat you right, take all your money, go to I don't care if it's $1,000, take it all and go to another bank. You want a relationship with people, not that having their money and don't know who you are. Something happened to your account and they don't treat you right, take all your money. I'm just telling you, bro, we've done it before. We do Zoom calls. Or have someone to do a Zoom call that you trust to make, have your family. We talk to our kids about it all the time. My daughter's doing a fantastic job with it. She don't want to get no money from us. We put a down payment on the house. My daughter has a house and she's 25. We put a down payment. I'm doing it for my son. And the reason is I want to build houses. My son ain't got one yet because I don't know, boy. It looked different. But he's like, when am I gonna get my house? Well, when he got out of school, we said, Brandon, we will buy you a house, we're gonna buy you a rental house, and we're gonna buy you a brand new car if you do these things. He said, I don't want to do that. Okay. Then he started dating a girl, her daddy gave her all that. He said, that's still, that proposal's still on the table. That has been gone a long time ago. But my daughter, she different. She's been investing, she increases her investments, she wants to go get a master's degree. I told her I'd pay for it. She said, no, Dad, I don't want you to. We're gonna pay for it. I mean, because at the end of the day, what good is it to have money and you can't pay for your kids to be better? But she don't want us to because she said, y'all do so much for us. You know, well, I don't really care. I want you to be better, so we don't do it. And I'm gonna figure out a way to try to make it work. But set up an estate plan. We talked about that. It may be 3,000, it may be 4,000, maybe 7, depends on the complexity of the deal. So you set up an estate plan with set clear instructions on where your money will go, and when you know when to. So we've all seen this. It's probably in our families that somebody dies, grandma dies. There's a house. It's in a couple people's name. You know, the brothers and sisters are fighting over the house. The house ends up staying there. It starts to deteriorate because no one's willing to sign off because you ain't gonna get more money than me. And then the house goes down, and the state takes the house because nobody pays the taxes on it, right? So I got 2 acres of land in Louisiana. Now I got this 2 acres of land. People didn't pay the taxes, so I was watching. So we have to give them a 30-day notice online. Guess why? You know how 1 year? Because they didn't read. We posted it. After 30 days, of course, said, okay, yes, yours. Sign the papers. You know how much money that cost me per year for 2 acres? $358. So 2 acres, and we get, my wife gets mineral rights on that now. She gets about $20,000 a year mineral rights on the property that someone lost just because they didn't take the taxes. So there's another property we're looking at right now that's got about another 2 acres. We just wait for them not to come through. See, that's the game, guys. And you may say, oh, you're taking advantage of the people. I don't know the people. So I'm not taking advantage of them. I'm just taking advantage of the opportunities that are available in this great nation that we live in. You know, if we think about the great opportunities versus the liabilities, we'll start understanding the game. I'm not stealing from them, cheating from them. I don't know them. They have to pay the taxes on it. They send a list. You don't pay, I'll pay, I'll own. That's the game. Anybody comfortable? Yeah, I'm not trying to make them
No,
comfortable.
I'm serious. I know that, but that type of list, I know there's certain ways you get that list. But if you willing to share that list, I like
Yeah,
it.
sure, anything. What you
Show us
do-
how we, or either, you know, explain how we do that type of,
Well, what you do is you go out to this is a relationship piece, right? This is a great chapter, John. Someone needs to go down to the courthouse and ask about this, and you get it every month, and you're gonna see. And then when you see it, you say, okay, I want that one. They not gonna pay. They're not gonna pay.
So this is just a list of properties with
Yeah,
taxes.
the
You
people
go to
that
the
have
tax assessor's office.
Tax
Not
assessors.
downtown Belleville.
Yeah,
They just ask for that list, and they send you the list.
yeah,
Tax lane is,
Yes, it comes out. You go online and get it.
yeah, and they don't pay.
is all public knowledge.
All broken down.
Yep.
And
A lot of
so,
times at auction, they auction.
Mhm.
and so,
They
thank
should
you.
go to realtor. You got the list.
Was that?
A realtor always has.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we all understand the game, right? So you get a chance to leverage this and make this, make your assets grow based on that. So then 2 acres of land, 3 houses, you stop buying the houses, you bought one in Cobra, but you got one to sell 7 for $1 million. I wasn't ready to pay $1 million because my daughter was still in school. But I didn't want to pay $1 million for the 7 houses, although they were income producing houses. I just didn't want to pay 7, I wanted 2 out of the block. He didn't want to sell 2, he wanted to sell 7. So that's why I did it, you know, so. But,
You sure you didn't want 20 on the block?
yeah. Yeah, that's right.
He just wanted 7. I didn't say that.
Yeah. So, he said, will entrust us to be developed in this process, so a lot of times I put it on that. Now, if you just decide you want to put a will together, do that. But if you got some money in that will, I can fight you for that, dog. I can fight you for that all day and still get a chance to win. You don't win just because you got a will. I can go and tell myself, I knew your mom, I met your mom at HEB down there, and I helped her take her groceries out, and when I helped her take her groceries out, she told me to call her, and she was gonna be in the will. You would say, you didn't know my mom, blah, blah. In court, I'm stand right there, smile like this. Yeah, I knew your mom. I took the groceries out. She said, I can have this. So you have to fight me for that. And you may hate me for that. I may be lying for that. I may be wrong for that. But I can do it. You know, now I wouldn't do that. I'm just saying somebody could do that. They do it. They do it all the time. Some people sit there and read the paper and wait for people to die. They do. And we're close to the finish line. I hope this is happening. Put together your legacy drawer. This is the key. I'm working on this too because I have a lot and trying to make sure everything. Your will and estate plan needs to go in this particular place, whether it's a drawer, folder. We're putting together things together with my wife and I both to just pick it up at will. Financial account information, so every bank account that you have, investment account needs to be on this list. Funeral instructions, what you want your funeral looks like, who you want to do the funeral. These instructions need to be in place. Review your insurance policies to make sure you have the beneficiaries listed properly. Put account passwords in place that's easily accessible. And then a copy of all your contracts that are necessary, house and car and all that kind of stuff so that it's easily accessible. Now, that sounds easy real quick that takes time too, because you gotta find stuff, put it into place, you know, where did I put this, where did I put that, the title, all of these things are important, right? Because typically, we gonna be gone, and our wives are gonna be the ones trying to figure this stuff out. And then Joe will come up in there with his slick little self, with his suit on, and he'll be slicking your wife, and then all of a sudden, Joe and his family got a new house. And we wondering why. You know what I'm saying? So, any questions on any of this? Any additional questions? And I hope it was beneficial.
Oh, yeah, that-
Okay.
Hey, so question as far as diversify your portfolio, okay? Because, you know, you're a businessman, and I know, you know, you got real estate, investments, things of that nature. Talk about how important it is, like say, owning everything is more important, you know, own your house, you got land, you got investments. Talk about diversifying your portfolio, you know, and what's important to do.
Yeah, I mean, diversification is key to call it unsystematic. You know, systematic never really builds. Unsystematic stuff builds because, say right now, real estate may be down, right? The value of real estate, interest rates are high. It's okay though. If you got a tenant, you're still making money. Investments, it's funny how things try to go together, right? When the market's down, you know, real estate seems like it's down, interest rates seem like they're high, and all that. By diversification, you still got money coming in on those properties. You're still making some money on investments. That's why I say, even in your investment strategy, don't put everything in stock portfolio. So say if you got $1 million, you put $200,000 in an aggressive fund, if you choose that, based on your appetite. Because it's gonna move. I ain't gonna lie to you, it's gonna move. It's gonna move. And then you may get something a little bit more conservative, right? So you may put another 100 in something conservative. If you're closer to retirement, I didn't mention this, John, annuities are really good. So what is an annuity in real life? It's a pension. That's why I say when people say they don't like annuities, I'm like, it's a pension. When you leave your job, they're giving you a pension. And the pension pays you until you die. So the way annuities work is, say if you did an annuity, and say you had $1 million and you want to annuitize it and you want to start receiving payments. You can do an annuitization period of 10 years, okay? So that means you're gonna get a bigger bunker of your money in that 10-year span because it's shorter, it's 10 years. So what if you live 15 years? Do you continue to get the money or does it go away?
No, you still get it.
You still get the money. So you'll get the money until you die, but your kids and wife will get it if you die before 10 years. So say you set up annuitization, annuity in 10 years and you die year number 3, but my wife will continue to get the money until she reaches 10 years. You see what I'm saying? The beneficiary will still get that money. So the money doesn't go away. She'll just get it, then she'll have a beneficiary. So if she dies, then my kids will get it until that 10-year time frame is up. And then at 10 years, it goes away completely. But if I live 20 years, they get nothing when I die because I've used that money plus something. Yeah.
My question is, Sean's question. Is an umbrella policy good to have, and what's the advantage of it?
I think they're probably the most important thing to have because it protects you individually and liability-wise, and it protects all your assets. So, say you're going to get in a car accident, you kill somebody right here in this corner, they know you got a little, money, they come. But that umbrella is going to provide you with an attorney to serve for you and protect your assets in that process. Yes. So here's what you gotta have. You gotta have higher limits in most cases to get there, which is not major, but because they give you a discount by doing it. So you may do, it's $1 million minimum, you go up to 2 to 5, depends on your assets, right? And it does protect you. So you can walk around both. So y'all remember President Clinton, right? Monica Lewinsky situation? State Farm defended him with that. He had an umbrella. So that's why they was mad. We should have defended him. But no, you can't change the rules. He got it. We got to pay to protect him. Because it protects you for everything. Slander. If you get in a fight with Yuri and he sues you, it's going to protect you for that. You drive and kill somebody, it's going to protect you for that. It protects you in a lot of places. But here's what happens in the insurance game. And Joe was a State Farm agent at one point too. That's why I keep referencing him. People walk in, you know what they say, John? I want you right now. I'm ready. So we as insurance guys say, hey, we can offer you this. No, I was going to pay. I see the chief saying, okay, we'll give you Cause I don't make money on the cheap and the good, but I really prefer you have the good. But if you don't want the good, I say the cheap, and I just keep my paycheck coming. That's the game. But when you go in, you should say, look, what's the best thing for me based on my asset, right? So, like, you may start with a basic policy, but, and it happens with all agents, you know, I tend to say I'm good in some areas, but I'm not good at bringing you in because I really don't have the time. But I need somebody to bring you in and say, okay, it looks like you got these limits, you've had these long enough, let's take a look at a product portfolio. If we did a better job doing that, more people would buy. But most people say, oh, no, I'm good. Because they never had an accident. They never got sued. But when they get in that situation, here's a good example. It happened to a pastor recently. I offered it to him, a friend of mine, big time. I said, something happened, they coming. Oh, yeah, I've been doing it a long time, but I'm good. But it happened. Then I get this private call, because this number shows up private. I said, yeah, Pastor, what's going on? We got this demand letter from an attorney. Demand letter, we all know what that is, right? We need to talk to you. And I said, well, you don't have an umbrella, but you do have high enough limits that we might be able to help you. So they filed, and I don't know what the real outcome is. I hadn't looked at it yet. But that would have helped him, would have took the pressure off that he can function like he should function. If you have young, underage kids, it's gonna be a little bit more because we're covering them too. So say, if it's $200 a year, this is typically what it costs, $200, $250 a year. With kids, it's gonna cost you about $500 a year. Because the kids underage drivers inexperienced, they don't have any experience. You know, so yeah, I do highly recommend those. So, great questions, man. I'm feeling like I'm in a good place.
Well, thank you for coming and presenting this. My question, you talked earlier about, you know, the education and educating your family and especially the children. In your course of doing this work, have you seen an uptick in parents basically underwriting their adult children's lifestyle? And if so, how do you kind of educate them out of that to where, you know, they're almost a hostage in their own family, so to speak, and to where they're just shelling out money that could have gone towards investing, or now it's impacting their lifestyle or their ability to retire.
Yeah, that's the number one thing that's a problem. That's why they can't invest. They're complaining about the kid. You know, he's 49, he don't want to get no job. Lady called me yesterday. She said, he don't want to get no job. That ain't my problem. Do you want the policy or not? Y'all got to deal with it. It ain't my business what y'all doing at home. Do you want it? But it happens every single day. You know, and they cannot do it. And then when they cannot do it anymore, the kid leaves and go find somebody else to leave on. You know, they don't even take care of the person. You know, so they call it the sandwich piece, right? So you got you and your wife and kids, and then you got your adult kids, and then you got your parents. So you got 3 people you're taking care of in this room. We take care of three sets. I lost my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, and my dad. And those 3 sets of people that we have to take care of in addition to taking care of our immediate family. So yes, that is a major problem. And it's really major, it's all across the board, but for us it's more impactful because we're, in a lot of cases, first or second generation individuals that went to school and have started this. So most of our parents, but not most, some of our parents are counting on us to take care of them financially, you know. And like I said, my son, he kind of, but I ain't taking care of him. Doing a good job. You can work, and I'm not gonna take care of you. Now I ain't gonna let you be homeless, but if you come back and stay here, here's the rule: you can stay upstairs. This is what we're gonna eat. This is what you're gonna do. If you want to come back, if you don't want to come back, because you know those rules ain't gonna work. But that does happen. So I hope I answered the question. I try to make things kind of funny so it don't sound so serious, but it's real. Yeah. So anybody else got any questions?
Yeah, I got one.
Okay.
It's, so I heard about, like, when you was talking about the whole life insurance, and putting cash into a whole life insurance, like if you have, is that a better than keeping it in the bank?
Yes. Yeah, even Joe nodded his head over there, yes. Here's why. Think about this. If you give a person the bank $1,000 a month, and you've been in it for 5 months, how much money is in the bank?
1,029.
But in 5 months, you got $5,000, right? So if you give us $5,000, how much is in there? $5,000 is in the cash account, right? But if you die, now you got $250,000 that could come back immediately to the house. They only gonna get $5,000 from the bank. And they gonna pay taxes on it when they get it. But over here, they ain't paying no taxes on the life insurance. They gonna call the life insurance company and they gonna get the money from the life insurance company. So you put $5,000 in to get $250,000 back. That's the game. Most people don't want to play the game though. You know, here's what I always say. Let's get back to the real stuff that we like. Cause do you think I like keeping this money in the bank? You think I like? No, I like spending stuff too. I like buying stuff, you know, watches and stuff, you know, I'm a watch guy. So I spend some money on a watch, a lot. Like $20,000 on a watch. I got 2 of them. That's my game. But I got it because I know over here I'm good. But if I kept the money in the bank, it's just gonna be there. But I know the transition is good, so I'm good. You know, there's a rule like right now in 2022 or 2023, I think the estate tax, if you're under $12.6 million per person, it's $24 million as a couple. Your estate tax is protected, they're gonna drop it. So if you die and you got your estate tax stuff set up right, your estate tax game is limited. You see what I'm saying? How is it protected in the life insurance process? So you build it, life insurance process, build equity in there, like I said before. You know, you ain't gonna get risk now, because you get 3 or 4%, right? But you ain't getting it at the bank. Look up, any bank right now is 0.01%, max 0.05%. But here, we're gonna get 3 to 4% on average on your money. First year, you're not gonna see that, because guess what you're buying, the life insurance. But as it begins to grow, you're gonna see it, and there's no taxes on it, because they're not sending a taxable statement. But here, they're gonna send you one every year. Include this in your taxes. Include this in your taxes. And they only gonna give you 5,000, so yeah. So, but I mean, if you really wanna get into that, I can help you, but if you have someone, talk to that person about it, but make sure they understand the game for real. I'm in the business, you know, I've been one of the top guys in the business for a long time. I've been in the business for 30-some years, and Joe, you know, I keep referencing Joe because he used to stay for me at one point. He knows the game, and I go hard. You know, that song, and I go hard. Yeah, but anyway, I mean, I hope I gave y'all something that's gonna be beneficial. If you have any questions, further questions, and want some one-on-one attention, if it's okay to do this.
Of course, bro.
Okay, I just want to make sure you ain't fighting outside. But anyway, if you want some one-on-one attention, please get at me. I can help you. If I can't, I have a team of people that work, and the people that I ever send you to, if I ever send you to someone, they know the code. You know, we're gonna take care of you and make sure that your family's in the right place. That from estate planning to life insurance to whatever else you may need, business-wise. If I can't do it, we got a team that can do it for you. So, hey, thank y'all for the opportunity to speak with you.